Broccoli. Oop.
Hey, Ron. Look at that.
Welcome to the Mad Skills Electric pregame show for Fish Talk Live. Here pregaming, giving you all a chance to sign in, get this shared, liked. Whoa.
We already know you follow it, so.
Thanks for thumping.
Got a house full of animals today.
We got a horse, we got a dog, we got a kid.
Yeah, me, John.
And a John.
All kind of good stuff.
Hopefully y'all did some good fishing this week. Send in some photos for me to enjoy.
We all did pretty good this weekend. And this week. Yeah, actually, I came out this week, too.
Saw John brought in a monster keeper.
Oh, yeah.
It was kept it.
Epic fight.
Epic battle. That's good.
Yeah, got some beautiful weather out there. Nice calm afternoons for fishing.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope you all got out there and did it.
Had some rain in the afternoon almost every day, but it's later in the afternoon. So.
Kind of felt good too.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then we got rained on when we went. Huh?
Oh yeah.
It's not complaining.
Fall is coming because it's starting to cool down, just slightly.
I'll take that 4-degree difference.
Water temperature cooled down a little bit
Yep.
too. I think I saw 85 out there this afternoon.
Yep.
So you're saying the temperature is falling?
Falling. Yep.
Somebody's got jokes today.
Yep. How about that airline food?
And no bueno.
Yeah.
Yep, so just giving you all a chance to get signed in, share, like this episode.
Yep,
this feed.
gotta share it to win. Got some cool stuff to give away tonight. I have no idea what it is, but I know it's cool.
We give things away here?
Didn't
Yeah, I
Gary
think
said
so.
it was a free fishing charter with Mario?
Captain
It might
John.
be me. Yeah.
Everyone just logged off.
Only good on
Everybody
February
that knows me knows I don't fish for a living.
They're good on February 31st.
30th. Yeah. It's free sample.
That's
Just
it.
$9.95.
Plus shipping and handling.
Yep. We're prohibited.
Yeah, so we got a good episode. Talk about this week's fishing, what's biting, what's not, what's in the move.
If you got questions, you should comment, and John will let us know what they are, and we'll try to answer them as best we can.
Just make it up.
Yeah.
Dave says, "What's up from the Keys?"
What's that? Who's in the key?
Dave Newman.
Yeah.
Hard dicks and helicopters. That's
Sounds
what's
like a
up.
good time in the key. What?
From now on, whenever someone says a bad word, we're gonna.
Oh, yeah. Or a dolphin.
There's the horse.
Yeah. We don't have a 3-second delay on this, do we?
So, not quite.
Yeah. Close enough.
Edith. What?
Again,
What?
share this with everybody. Pre-gaming it right now. So go ahead and give it a share. Let everybody know who we are and what we do.
It's a madhouse up here.
It is today.
Free for all!
Free for all.
Free for all!
That's what we ought to
Animal
do. We should do a free-for-all episode.
This is a free for all
I like the
episode.
sound of
There
that.
we go.
Free
Right
for
now.
all!
It's a free-for-all episode. Ask away.
That's it.
Comment
That's
about
it.
anything. Yeah. I don't know. That's-
All right, are we ready to get in the show or what?
I think
so.
I think we're about ready to.
Yeah, are you ready? I'm ready.
I think so.
I think
Free
I'm ready. Let's go to a commercial.
It's the moment when everything is on the line and precision, power, and control make all the difference. A moment over 20 years in the making, anchored on loyalty, trust, and support that goes beyond all expectations. A relentless pursuit of perfection. All born from a revolutionary idea to help you rule the water. Power Pole.
Welcome to
Fish Talk Live.
presented by Seakeeper, Power Pole, and Ozella Keys Marina. Guys, tonight, guys and ladies, I'm sorry, we are going to be doing a free-for-all right here at Fish Talk Live. Free-for-all.
Free for all.
Free-for-all Fish Talk Live. So this is where we want you to give us the subject.
Teach us how to fish.
Ask us any question you would like. Teach us anything that you would like. Just ask away. We
That's
want
it.
you to bring up the topics. We will go over it. If we don't have any answers, and we got some wild animals in the house tonight.
Eat it.
So please forgive that. But that's
Big
a
old
free.
Great
That's a
Dane.
free for all. Fish Talk Live.
That's it. That's it.
All right. So Billy, grouper season is officially.
Hey, we are halfway through it.
Yeah.
That's so fast. 2 weeks.
Listen,
So, I mean,
this has been the longest week.
I was going to say, I say that being an outsider watching everybody, but yeah, 2 week long.
It's been ups and downs and big ones and little ones,
Highs and low tides.
highs and low tides. We got a front coming through tomorrow, or it's coming through right now. That's why it feels pretty good outside.
Sitting on us.
How's Billy with the Captain Billy Fender weather report? Tell us a little bit about the weather.
A lot of east winds, low tides. When those tides come back in, it does cause a good disturbance in the water. Makes for a nice rough run out there. I think we're only sitting at like a 50% chance of rain, nothing too wild, as we do have that hurricane that's going to push into Louisiana area. That's drawing all that east wind to us, or from us, however you want to look at that. And a little bit of precipitation.
So all the grouper are going over there.
That's it. We're running from it.
All right.
Too.
That sounds like a good deal. Does Louisiana have anything to worry about with this hurricane? And what's the name of the hurricane?
Ooh, that
You're the weatherman.
Francine.
What is it?
I believe it's Francine.
Francine.
That's not
yeah,
good.
they're doomed.
That's not good. What was the one that really put a hurting on them?
Katrina.
Katrina.
Katrina. It's definitely not going to be a Katrina scenario.
It's always the females.
Yep, wet and wild and leave you broken.
Oh my God. Where's my little horn thing at? All right, Billy, before we go over to the Ayinde Matthews State Farm casting couch with Captain Mario, what is happening on the airboat? What are you seeing? Are you seeing snook? Snook season's open.
Yes, it
Tell
is.
everyone where you're seeing snook at.
Definitely finding some snook out there. Playing on the airboat, definitely staying on the inshore side of it, playing the mangrove islands. If y'all know where some of the cracks and ledges are, at the low tides, that is where I'm finding those snook, as I try to show my guests what I speak of when I say springs, cracks, ledges, how the structure of our bottom is. I find some really nice snook pushing out of a lot of those spots. The higher tides, I do find them shoved way inside of the mangroves. I would say they're every bit of 2 to 3 feet into the mangrove root system. A lot of bait out there for them, cruising through there. So got to see 2 days ago, we got to watch a really nice strike out there on the reef, which is pretty cool.
Really?
Yep, nice explosion at the surface. Redfish are on the move. I'm actually finding them. I'm assuming it's got to do with this little front that we're having. Finding them further and further east, which is kind of cool. I know they're playing west into the outer islands. They're still catching really well out there. A lot of fish to be seen, but I do find them pushing further and further east, which is always a good sign.
Absolutely, yeah.
Fall is among us.
So I have a question.
Yes.
And I'll pose it to each of you since this is a free-for-all, because all 3 answers are going to be different.
Okay.
Free for all.
What artificial baits do you like, and what is working right now?
I'll be right back.
When it comes to what, snook?
Fish in general.
Fish in general.
No snatch hooks.
Got my cast net. I always enjoy using like a mirrodine, the broken glass mirrodines. You get a really good action at that the mid-water column. You can hook your snook, your redfish, speckled sea trout, which are another one that's moving in, finding a few of those out there. And that's one of my favorites because it's a constant cast and reel.
Now, how would you fish that? Just cast and reel it back?
I give a little bit of a twitch action to it, but most of it is just get out of here. Most of it is just a steady retrieve with a little twitch about every half second to 2 seconds.
Okay.
That's how I enjoy to use it, and produce a decent amount of fish when I get the chance to fish.
Sure.
Especially as the sun's, not even at the peak height. Your AM and PM, I enjoy using those.
When's the last time you went fishing?
Solid question. About 4 days ago. For grouper.
What about you, Mario?
Well, you know me, I'm a jig fisherman. Love throwing the jig. Using an 1/8 ounce jig and any kind of jerk bait works pretty good. That DOA Glow 5.5 inch cal works really good. DOA also makes a paddle tail, a 3.5 inch paddle tail that works really good. I've been starting to use more of the Q8 super baits. They're scented. They're kind of like the old gulp were back when they didn't tear up so easily. Those are always really good for trout, and we've been catching a handful of redfish on them too. But I'm working those really slow, just bumping them off the bottom.
So these kind of baits right here?
Yeah, right there. That's a DOA glow right there. That's a great bait. But use these on a jig head, or you can just put them on a hook and work them like a topwater bait. But any of these decent-sized jerk baits, work them nice and slow.
Can you
the
please demonstrate for
really
us?
good. Oh, look at that. Am I showing you how to work it?
How are you working that DOA glow?
The DOA glow. Now, what I would be doing if I was just putting it on a hook without the jig, we throw it out, and I like to reel down. So what I do is I let it sink about a foot. I got the dog over. I let it sink about a foot, and I'll twitch, and then I'll pause it, and then let it sink about another foot, twitch, and then pause. And when I reel, I keep my left hand steady, and I move my right with the rod. So that's what gives it the action. I don't know if you can see it in the camera here a little bit better.
You know,
Here's the action to be able to spin the reel. Okay.
That's how I do it. I've always done it that way, and it seems to work pretty good. But yeah, I just leave my cranking hand still, and I move my right hand.
Poppy.
She's intrigued.
my go-to artificial is a paddle tail.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice and simple.
Houdini is my favorite color in the 3-inch, the minnow Z's. It's easy. It's a searcher bait. Just toss it out, reel it back.
Yeah.
And they make 1,000 casts.
Yeah.
And they only catch, a little grouper or a little trout. So I'm only good for little fish. What about you, Gary?
My go-to bait. It's a new. I think we've talked about this before on Fish Talk Live.
Pretty sure.
But and Jacob's gonna be pissed at me. But these were the bottom of the boat pre-fishing one day. I forget where we were, somewhere, and I said, you know what, man? We saw the school of redfish. They're all over the place. I said, let's. I just want to see reactions. I want to see are they spooky? Are
they hungry?
Let's just throw some sort of a paddle tail, something a little more subtle, and had these in my bilge of all places. It's the DOA. I think it's a 4-inch
Decalz.
shad. Yep, the Decalz series. It's a 403 color. It's kind of like a pinfish. Hold it up here.
Is it like
Pinfish, kind of like a mullet.
Is it Arkansas Glow or something like that?
No, it's
403. I'm not familiar with the color.
yeah, I don't know. They're hard to find.
Yeah.
We ordered a bunch in. We started telling a lot of people that come through here, so they're flying through off the shelf and everyone's happy with them. It doesn't seem like there's anything too special about it.
It's nice though, being that paddle tail, like John said. You can send it in every direction to slow retrieve it.
That's the thing too. Like
Snook, trout, reds, you name it.
Yeah.
with paddle tails, I've seen it happen so many times. Everybody starts jigging them.
Yeah.
Everybody starts, trying to do something cool with it. It's a paddle tail. It does its own.
That's it.
Steady
Swimming along through the
retrieve.
water column.
Steady retrieve. Low tide, low weight.
Yeah.
High tide, high weight. If you're really truly trying to get a reaction hit out of fish where they're aggressive, go bigger weight. Dust the bottom.
Yeah.
Because you'll see them coming off the flats right to that bait. But you just got to be confident in yourself where it's just a slow retrieve. Don't get worried about, getting rocked up on an oyster bar or getting through grass. Just steady retrieve.
It'll bump over it.
Steady retrieve.
For the most part.
For the most part. The other thing that I've started doing a lot with grouper. So this grouper season has been real finicky. There's grouper all over every spot.
Getting them to choose a different scenario.
That's it. I got so frustrated, after 2 days, bringing in a couple keepers here, a couple keepers there. Finally, I was like, I got to get in the water and see what's going on. 30, 40, 50 heads per spot, especially the ledges. So making those fish feel more comfortable is a big thing.
Oh, yeah.
Lighter leader, smaller circle hook, no weight.
Parking further away from it.
That's it. I've started taking the ProCure pinfish, and I've started squirting it out there.
Oh, there you go. Just get a scent in the waters.
Yep, get a scent in the water, get everything else stirred up. Instead of the normal, chumming live pinfish or whatever it is, I've started taking shrimp, frozen shrimp, sardines, threadfin, chunking them up. You helped me cut up a bunch one day.
Oh yeah.
Started tossing those out there because there's a lot of snapper out there right now. Gets all the snapper fired up.
Yep.
When the other fish get fired up, those grouper are gonna get fired up too.
Oh, they feel comfortable enough.
Exactly, but this Pro Cure, that's been a big trick. It's getting expensive though, because I'm going through a lot of it. But so
Stop after stop after stop.
that's it. That's my artificial answer.
Yep.
John, do we have any good questions out there?
So if it's an artificial answer, is that a fake one?
Not right now.
Yeah. For that grouper bite, to get it fired up, that's a lot of times I'll hand everybody one of the smaller rods, like something we'd go redfish and trout fishing with. We'll put on shrimp or cut bait or something, and we'll get the grunts and the snapper fired up. And it's not long before those groupers start to wake up. You'll start seeing them come out of the rock piles.
Really?
Yeah, and they'll nose up right behind the snappers and the grunts. But once they start popping out, that's when you start throwing the liveys out.
Well, I know.
Big chunks of live bait, or I'm sorry, not chunks, but chunks of like frozen bait or whole live pinfish out there when you start seeing them come out of the rock pile.
Well, like when people get toadfish and the other, we'll call them junk bait fish.
Yeah, your mother-in-law's.
And their pinfish traps, they instantly toss them. Keep them. Toss those out there. When my clients are fishing, I'm always fishing with the toadfish too.
Oh yeah.
I'm dragging it through. I'm jigging it. I'm doing all kinds. And every once in a while, I'll get popped hard on them too.
Yep.
But anything, grouper they're territorial feeders.
Yeah,
They're
they're a
not
reaction
feeding
bite.
because they're hungry. 9 out of 10 grouper you catch, their stomachs are empty. I don't know if you ever
pretty
noticed
skinny.
that.
Pretty
so
skinny.
they are purely feeding, or they're purely attacking because something's in their territory. So think about that. If you're having a hard time, if you're at a spot, there's fish there, do everything that you can to antagonize that fish before you leave.
That's it. And if you can't get them antagonized, shoot them.
Yeah.
They're always eating stainless steel. Always.
That's Charlie Heyman.
If you've got a good shot.
When's your favorite time to fish for redfish?
October.
Why?
Because it's good.
They call it mid-October. It's the first month that there's true, cool, wet, good air.
Yeah.
Like right now we have dry air. Right now the lines are zinging. Even though it's starting to cool down, when your lines are zinging, it's not going to be a great day of fishing.
Yeah, we've ran into that quite a few times.
Yeah,
That's kind of a loaded question for me because it depends on what location it is. If I'm fishing the dirty water up north, I think September is a better month. Usually at the end of August, early September, mid-September is fired up. But if you're fishing in the islands, anywhere in the mangrove trees or in the backcountry, October is definitely the better month.
less traffic.
Yeah.
You don't have scallop season. You don't have all the wahoos out there. Not the fish, but the boaters.
Yep. Uh-huh.
October. I like May as well.
And then April and May. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to say April and May are also really good
Yep.
months, both for redfish. But they're here year round. You just got to fish for them differently at different times of the year.
Exactly, and that's what makes fishing our area so fun.
It's a year-round fishery. It just depends on where you're at.
After this last year, I've grown a really large passion for the whole duck pond, airboat fishing stuff.
I'm ready for winter to be here.
That's such a blast, and it's a whole different style of fishing too. Fishing with the mud minnows, and you're back up there in the creeks, and you put a set of waders on, walk around, have some fun. But I'm right there with Mario. October, April, May.
So George Quinn brings up a great question. When is the Ho 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 Fishing for Dough tournament?
So, the Ho 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 Fishing for Dough, fifth annual Ho 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 Fishing for Dough, is the second
14th.
Saturday, right?
Should be the 14th.
So it is December 14th, 2027.
Yeah,
Will be the
somewhere
next
around
one.
there. Yep.
Yes.
Second
No, I'm just
weekend.
kidding. 2024.
Because Billy's funeral is the 7th.
Yes. All right, so the Ho 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 Fishing for Dough is December 14th.
Second Saturday in December.
The reason why we're kind of taking a little bit longer on releasing further details is because there's going to be a lot further details. We're going to make this one jam
Still have a lot of planning.
epic. We are still gathering sponsors. With the economy, it still seems like people a little more laggish, completely understandable.
Yep. If you know anybody that wants to sponsor a fishing tournament, we're here for it.
That's it. Registrations are, what did we say today, John? November 1st?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So registrations are going to open November 1st. We will cap it off at 125.
Yeah.
We have to.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of room left.
That's a whole lot of boats.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of boats.
And it's still just a paddle craft, right? It's
Still
only,
just a paddle craft. Yep. No motors.
Or
no
paddle or pedal.
Or pedal. As long as it's man powered.
Yes.
Yeah, human powered.
Yeah, human powered.
1 horsepower.
What?
1 person power.
Something of that nature. Yeah. Yep. As much fun as it would be to be able to have a little small engine on there, not gonna pass.
Nope. All right, so December
guys-
14th.
Do you guys have a technique for snatching mullet? Long cast, short cast, across mullet
I'll
schools.
be right back. Thank God we have a bait shop below us.
Yeah, I know. Definitely helps.
Isn't it great?
Definitely helps. I
It's
know
a-
growing up,
You can thank Ken Claimer for that question. Making
All right.
Gary run stairs tonight. Work off a couple of those
He
extra
needs it.
pounds from dinner the other day.
yeah, he needs it. So growing up, snatching mullet, I mean, let's get a treble hook. I'd probably say at least 2 inches in diameter, 2 to 3 inches in diameter. Always used a bullet weight in the past. I know nowadays we have weighted hooks. Pretty sure that's what Gary's going to snag right now.
Yeah, I think they're like $4.99.
Something of that nature. And that has definitely changed the game, having a weighted hook for it. Because, using a bullet weight growing up, it usually would catch grass and all that fun stuff. But, we used to actually toss them out, watch the mullet schools go by. We would toss about 10 feet ahead of them, and we would wait for that school to swim across and then yoke them up. And we're pretty successful with it. I haven't really
Now, are
attempted
you snatching or are you just reeling the hook back?
snatching.
Snatching. You got to
Yep.
snatch it.
Yep, leaving it beyond them, and once that fish crosses you in that hook, give her hell. But I really haven't played a whole lot on snitching mullet in the saltwater side of it. I was always playing back in Halls River when we did it. I know Captain Matt Kleckner has gotten into snitching mullet quite a bit. He does quite well with it.
So, Ken, that's a great question, by the way.
There's that weighted hook I was speaking of.
So this is an 8.0. In a perfect world, I think a 10.0 is probably ideal. But I do like about the smaller hook, you're going to get less weeds this way. You want to make sure and cast this treble hook well over your target. When you reel way up top, get it about, I'd say, 2 foot past the mullet. Let's pretend this is a mullet, not a tarpon.
That's how I catch mine.
Let it drop, basically like that line is dropping over the top of the mullet. And don't get fixated on snatching one mullet. Go for a school mullet. It's gonna make your life a lot easier. So you cast it way out, reel up top so you try not to disturb that school of mullet. Let it fall, and then snatch.
Yep.
Then
Give her
have
hell
fun.
from there.
Have fun. I love snatching mullet. That is it's a blast.
Especially when you get them in the tail. You talk about a fight and a half. Get those big old river mullet coming out of the rivers, pushing their way back into the Gulf. You end up with one of those in the tail. It's almost as fun as catching redfish to me. I always enjoyed doing that.
Now,
Been a hot minute.
speaking of live bait, where is the best place to put your pinfish traps?
In an area that doesn't have a lot of boat traffic.
That is a solid answer.
Clean water.
Unless
Now-
you use a pool noodle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you
unless
can
you're
use a
hiding
pool
your
noodle,
buoy.
You can use a bleach bottle. You can use just about anything that floats. But
But location in the water. I mean, clean water. Are we looking in seagrass, near rocks?
I like to put mine
what's
on the
best
edge,
location?
right on the edge of the potholes where the grass meets the sand. I like to put mine in the sand area right next to where the grass is at. That seems to be a better spot. But pinfish are everywhere, so
I know I've been running over a set of them out there on the airboat, and they are set probably 5 feet off of an inshore grouper ledge, and they're always slightly moved. I don't know whose they are, but I have a feeling they got a pretty good spot out there. I mean, it is, just like you said, right from the grass to that hard yellow bottom, and every other day they're moved about 2 feet. But they don't ever leave that same ledge, and that's one of the easiest ways for me to find it for the customers. They got a nice white buoy on it.
Yeah, the biggest thing is clean, clear water. You know, especially here. Right now, due west of Tank. You know, I'm about, what would you say, Billy? About 2 miles west of Tank? 3
Probably
miles?
about 2 miles, yeah, 2.5.
I'm a little bit further out just because I'm going for those big baits, the spot tails.
You got some nice, perfect hand size ones.
Oh,
in
yeah.
those
You
traps.
should have seen today. Today was, well, the past 2 days I've gotten a gag grouper in my
I
traps.
saw that.
2 days in a row.
Sadly not keepers, but you know, they fit in the pinfish trap.
And I can't say this enough, you know, either expect your trap to get robbed and be fine with it, or get creative.
Yeah.
You know, someone was telling me today, we're out of pinfish traps. And someone called me and asked about if we had any left in stock. I said,
Spider Mike?
no. Yes, yep.
Yep, called me
Dorado
too.
Mike.
And
Dorado Mike, yeah.
Toronto Mike. And he had a piece of, he had like a 2-liter bottle or something he spray painted black. You know, somebody finds something like that, they're either going to pick it up, you know, because they're thinking it's trash, or they're going to know. So do your best to really hide that trap without causing a hazard to somebody else as well. So I carry a telescoping boat hook just because I want to make sure that my traps are 5-6 foot underwater, that nobody's going to cause any damage to the prop. Any other questions?
Trying not to get eaten.
I think Gary, you have yours. You have 2 traps tied together with a piece of rope with no buoy.
Correct. I
2
long
and
line
3.
mine. So I
Yeah.
got 3 on one line and then 2 on another line.
There you go, and you just drive over them and hook them with your boat hook.
Yep. And I reset the GPS
Yeah.
coordinate every single time.
When you do that, don't forget to mark it.
Yeah.
Gary sends me out there. He's like, oh, yeah, it's right there on the marking. Get there, can't find the traps. Oh, somebody stole. Oh, wait, I put them by a pothole. Yeah, you didn't mark that.
And then Billy didn't mark it the next day.
Yeah, that happened.
I use a piece of pool noodle.
Yeah, that's a great way. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, I get it set about a foot above the trap itself.
Yep.
Yeah, it's still submerged, but highly visible when you get close to it.
Yeah, if you want your best bait, go past the islands, though.
Yeah, everything I'm seeing in the islands on the airboat tours, I mean, it looks like glitter. There's bait everywhere if you're looking for that 2-inch long pinfish. You know, if you're looking for snapper pins, I would definitely set them close to the reef itself. But getting out on the outside, yeah. For redfish, trout, stuff of that nature, they're great for what's in the island systems. But for the grouper side, definitely go a few miles offshore.
Seems to be 4 to 6 feet is where we're getting our biggest pinfish with the trap.
They're big. I mean, they're almost edible.
Yeah, they're pretty good size. They're great, perfect for grouper.
Oh, and don't think I haven't forgotten about your trash fish cook-off.
I haven't forgot about it either. I'm just trying to figure out
Yeah,
how
what
to.
was mine again? A clownfish or something?
I got
Or,
bluefish.
You got a what?
Blue.
Oh, I think it's a Jewfish.
A lionfish.
Lionfish.
Those
Yeah.
are actually really good to eat.
And Mario's got spot-tail pinfish.
There's plenty of
Bring some in
those.
for your
Billy's got a
trap.
bluefish.
Yeah. So if anybody catches a blue and they want to donate it, I'll be happy to take it to try and cook
I will take a lionfish, please.
it. Yeah. Whoever can find the lion.
Don't even know where to start. All right, let's hit a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to do the Extreme Decalz Catch of the Week.
What's going to be impressive, I think, is the hole shot. Like when we get that hole shot stuff dialed in, and get the trim command curve all the way up to 100, and we just romp down this thing. Like everybody's going to have a holy shit moment. It's going to be pretty awesome. I've experienced it. It's pretty cool, man.
There's a nice
there's a
redfish.
Is that Chris?
Get there.
It is
The
Chris.
Dunning.
Mr. Dunning.
Didn't he get like second place for that fish?
He did. Pretty sure that's what he said.
That's a good one. Look how thick that thing is.
Absolutely.
Hey, there's a great catch.
Ah, them ugly mugs.
Jacob. Hey, Gary.
That's from today. The guys went out.
Yeah.
Little fillet station action.
Nice.
Very nice. Susie and Bobby.
Yeah.
With the top water bite.
Yeah, the old top. Oh, nice
There's-
catch.
There's Chris again.
Maybe that was a second place fish.
Maybe.
That's a good
That
one.
first one looked a little bit big.
Yeah.
Ditch pickle.
Mr. Harwood. Very nice bass. Absolutely.
Looking forward to that championship coming up, Chris.
Yeah, the
Very
redfish
nice, Mr.
here.
Hendricks.
Nice little red, double spotter.
Ken, putting the G babies on the fish.
That's a cool
Whoa,
shot.
Too cool, Dave.
That
Yeah,
sure is a
that's-
big lady fish.
Yeah. Loppers.
Nice, George. Gonna
Sweet.
get down there and do some lobstering soon.
More bass.
Absolutely. I like to see the freshwater side coming in.
Yeah.
Gavin
tis
the
the season.
man.
There's some nice bass.
Oh, old friend Neil and his family.
Yeah.
Nice group.
The group us. The group us. More
That
group
thing was a
us.
stud.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That one
More
weighed
group is.
just under 15.
Just wait till you see mine.
Solid 4 meals right there.
That was another stud.
Get her done.
Definitely some nice fish swimming around out there.
I had
yeah.
these awesome folks 2 days in a row. Second year in a row. I had so much fun listening. Jim, Liz, if you guys are watching, thank you all very much. Had a blast with you all. Looking
I
forward
think
to
he
next
caught
year.
all those ones, didn't he?
Huh?
I think that day was all his catch. Today was hers.
Yeah, first day, yeah, was all, yeah.
Hey, I went on that charter.
Sam.
Flounder.
Look at that flower.
Doormat flounder.
Man, look at the size of that mango.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Jeez. Yeah.
that was a surprise to see come up too.
Nice.
There we go. There's our 6U Rams in the 352 Legends League, and then our 8U Rams. Definitely overdoing it this year with 2 teams.
More groupas. Imagine that. Tis the season.
Those guys are awesome too. South Carolina. There's Miss Liz's catch today. I tell you what, today was the first day that it was truly sporty. You know, like you could see, and I think in the next photo, I was anchored down with my power poles almost all day. That's how shallow it was. And look at those rollers behind us.
Oh yeah,
Thank God for the Seakeeper Ride. That's all I can say.
that makes a heck of a difference. That ride system. Very nice.
It's almost like a grouper
Yeah.
season or something.
Almost like it.
Yeah.
That's Jacob's boat today.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very nice.
that's a nice fish on the left there.
Yeah, it is. There's that snook.
James.
Very
I think they're
nice.
the only ones catching snook right now.
And Jessica.
Everyone's grouper fishing. Except for me.
Very nice.
There, that's more my style.
It's a weird looking grouper.
Yeah, funny looking.
Nice fish, Joe.
Good stuff.
Another Joe. Joey 3 Legs.
Yeah, with 3 spots.
They got what, 4th place?
I think something like that. Yeah. Dang it!
That's a fat
You
guppy.
weren't
Yeah.
joking.
Thicken.
There's John's
There's the
keeper.
catch of the week right there.
Pulled it right out of the pinfish
Yeah, go. That thing pulled
Catching
right.
monsters.
It did.
I don't know if the scale even registered that poor thing.
What was that? Of course it's
Very nice,
got with the
Mr.
Jesus
Pritchard.
sandals. Oh, too cool. They all went down there together?
Nice. That'd be a good trip. That'd be a real good trip.
Man, the all-stars on one boat. Brianna said you all are so cute. Did Matt shave?
He did. He
looks
trimmed
like
his
it.
beard up. Almost
He
unrecognizable.
looks like a baby now.
He's not homeless anymore.
William with a nice redfish.
That's beautiful gold. Very nice.
Man, there's a lot of catch of the weeks this week, huh?
Love to see it.
Too cool. Look at that yak.
Sweet. More grouper. Susie got in the grouper.
Very nice, Leslie.
Yeah.
Nice grouper.
There are Miss Susie Beachadas.
Oh, hey, there's one of mine. Look at that.
Captain Mario.
Another one of mine.
Look at that
That's a-
beard. Wow.
Yeah,
That thing is just going with the wind.
We were in 3-footers. Literally.
that's a heck of a fish.
It's another good one.
Nice.
Yeah, we had a pretty good week.
That one looks familiar.
Heck yeah, we had a really good week.
That's awesome. No
Kingfish.
He
joke.
looks like a lumberjack in that one.
Wahoo.
With the
That's
what are
kingfish,
they
I
called,
think.
I think
bibs?
so, yeah.
Yeah.
One strap bibs. That's a huge mackerel.
Yeah.
That's a big mackerel.
Big Mac attack.
That had to be a hell of a fight.
Schnook.
Nice.
At the shop.
Yeah.
So,
Straight
all right.
off work.
Yeah, Nick, are you watching right now? Are you at work catching these fish? Or are you catching fish and then going to work?
Where are you working?
That's true. Maybe he's just that dedicated.
That's a nice
just
note.
going right in his work apparel and going fishing. Got some questions, Nick.
There's a dark color.
Captain Ozzy.
Yeah, that's a pretty red.
Way back in the back.
Bayport Special.
Airboat fishing.
More airboat fishing.
Absolutely.
Way back
I really
in the
didn't
back.
think Ozzy could get uglier, but he did.
Very nice.
Yep, tearing it up.
Come on.
Getting jiggy with it.
Ooh, getting jiggy with it. Baking them.
Love it.
Appreciate
Love
y'all
it.
sending that in.
Thank you guys for those photos. That's the Extreme Decals Catch of the Week. Some good photos this week. Let's keep on bringing them on. Let's see what next week. I want to see more snook photos.
I think after grouper season, we probably will see more snook.
That's the challenge for next week. Some more snook photos.
So are we talking snook next week then?
Could
At least photos.
I think next week I'm going to get with a buddy out of Keaton Beach and see if we can talk about like that northwest region up there and kind of really
Hit on some
focus
different Gulf of
in,
Mexico.
because the Florida Redfish Series championship is this following weekend. So not next weekend, the following weekend. So I think a lot of people are going to want to know what the fishing's like up there. But and redfish. Actually, yes, that's the subject next week. Redfish, dedicated to the Florida Redfish Series.
Redfish and tournaments.
That being
Come
said,
join the fastest growing redfish series in the country as they kick off their 2025 season at Seahag Marina in Steinhatchee on January 25th, Panama City February 22nd, Jacksonville March 15th, Panacea April 12th, Cedar Key May 10th, St. Augustine May 31st. Then join us as we crown our champions September 19th and 20th in Steinhatchee at Seahag Marina. For more information, visit our website, flredfishseries.com, or check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Alrighty, we are the Nature Coast Financial Advisors Tackle Table Talk. Our good friend Gary Marriage. It's been a blast seeing him out there at the 352 Legend Fields
Yes.
on game days. Hell of a person, great business. Check him out. He is going to secure your future. Gary Marriage with Nature Coast Financial Advisors, and he's an avid fisherman.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
All of our sponsors are.
Yeah.
Billy,
That's why they're buying.
all right, on Tackle Table Talk tonight, we are going to talk about something that everyone has one of.
Yes.
And a lot of people have different brands, different styles. Most commonly, everyone has this certain item that fades away, that gets sweat stains and
lot
everything
of
else. But
They usually don't
we
last more than a month.
No, it's crazy, but we at ICAST this past show, we found a new brand that's right here in Florida.
Fallen in love with them.
Absolutely incredible. I am doing the 15-day challenge right now with mine.
Yep.
To see if they back it up with what they say, where it doesn't get sweat stains and the salt stains.
So far, so good. 100% honest with you. I mean, I've been wearing this one for...
Well, what are we talking about?
Oh, you really want to know?
10 hats. Guys, Billy, how long have you been wearing yours?
Since we got them in, I think, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah. It's been a good while.
Yeah, been quite a few weeks now. 10 hats. It's a... it's not... I don't think it's even new to the market. It's just new to...
It's new to us.
Yeah, new to us. And something we fell in love with. Keep my 5 head from burning.
Once again, we are the first one. Well, Extreme Decalz was the first one in the county to stock them.
Yeah.
You know, they customize them. They did all these awesome patchwork on these. But we were the first retail store to start carrying them.
Yeah.
So, but we are trying to spread the word on these things just because they are incredible headwear. You could literally take a pressure washer and clean them. And probably your first thought after I say that is, oh, they got to be heavy on the head.
Not at all. Not at all whatsoever. I mean, I'm a major sweater. I didn't really want to admit that, but it is what it is.
Nobody knew that.
And that is my favorite part. And they told us that at ICAST, and it was one of those things that, you know, you always just kind of want to put it to the test. Like I said, this hat has been worn every day for the past, 2.5, 3 weeks now. Not a stain to be found on it. It is quite amazing in that aspect. I run it every day on the airboat. There has been no fading to it. Comfortable as all get out. They have, I don't even know what this mesh is, but it's not your standard, you know, Richardson style hat as far as the mesh goes. It's almost like a flat panel that was stamped.
Yeah, it's breathable.
With water drops. Yeah, it is highly breathable. I got the 5 panel. It gives me a, you know, slightly bigger forehead. I just needed that. But yeah, I've been very, very pleased with this hat. Usually I'm going through a hat trying to keep them clean. I get maybe a month out of our old ones. I mean, we have, like 40 of them in a pile downstairs?
Yeah.
Some odd thing that we just like to keep our old hats. Yeah, but yeah, the 10 hats, everything they explained to us at ICAST, they were 100% spot on. Yeah.
And it's not that big of a difference between the pricing too. For a hat that's going to last you a lot longer, that's designed for fishermen. That's my favorite part.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like you said, you're doing your 15-day challenge with grouper season. I got to witness it myself. There's even times where he has to jump in. Coming up with a sweaty head, or a salty head, I should say, sticks the hat right on, dries his face with it, and wears it back. And it is just as clean as the day you bought it. It doesn't smell good, but it's just as clean as the day you bought it. But they do have many different styles. As far as the hats go, they have your traditional cuts. They have the 5 panels. They have quite a few different shapes and sizes to them. Some of them even have the strap on top, be able to hook your lure or whatever you want to it. But the 10 hats is definitely something I have a feeling you're going to see a lot of in a lot of your major retail stores because it's uncomparable.
Finally, a hat that doesn't just go to waste in 2 months.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what I'm excited about. So.
Yep, absolutely. 10, y'all nailed it.
Yeah. Great
10
job,
out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Oh, is that why they're called 10?
I would have a feeling. Little
Mind
things.
blown. All right, so 10 hats, check them out. We have them in stock here at OKM, or check out our friends at Extreme Decalz, get a custom hat made.
Absolutely.
I think it's good.
That's why you always see us just like, what?
Yeah.
It's the numbers.
So what?
1010hats.com.
Correct.
1010hats.com.
Not spelled out 10. It is the numbers 10.
10.
10 out of 10.
So 1010hats.com. 1010hats.com.
Yeah.
All right.
I love it.
Oh, what's wrong, Bree? You keep looking away when you go talk. You just did it again.
She's great in the feedback.
Okay. All right, so let's go over to our good friend Captain Mario at the Ayinde Matthews State Farm casting couch for the redfish and snook fishing report.
Inshore.
The
All right,
inshore
inshore.
satellite.
Inshore fishing
Inshore.
report.
Mario,
With a
take it away.
With a little touch of grouper here and there.
There it is.
Yeah, well, I'm catching redfish just about on every trip I go out on. Actually, I am catching redfish on every trip I go out on. Some days are better than others, but I always talk about our summertime typical pattern. Well, now that holds very, very true. A lot of these outside islands that have the mullet, these redfish are starting to get much more aggressive. Maybe they're getting more comfortable with the traffic. I'm not sure, but they've got the feed bag on right now. I want to say it was day before yesterday, maybe the day before that. We actually had a grouper trip scheduled. We went out, and before we got out to the end of the river, I told the guys, like, we have a really good tide for red fishing. Let's spend a half an hour or 45 minutes to see if we can't catch one of these really nice ones that we've been seeing swimming around. First spot we go to, second bait in the water, we end up hooking up a nice mid-slot fish. As we were taking photos of that one, the other guy hooks up with another nice mid-slot fish. And for the next half hour, we were catching them on about every other cast. And that was quite fun. But it was a grouper trip, so we actually had to go offshore. And that day, the grouper bite was very poor for me. We only got shorts, but the big mangrove snappers were everywhere too. We ended up catching 5 or 6 really big mangrove snappers and a bunch of grunts that were 12 to 15 inches. So we had a good time with that. But that redfish bite is fired up now. Now that the water temperature's dropped about 2 or 3 degrees, and it seems to be staying there. All the outside islands and also the shorelines that are around some of these bigger creeks, anywhere that's holding mullet, they're going to have a lot of these redfish in them. Seems to be every mullet school that we run into, we're finding schools of redfish with them.
There has been a lot of schools of mullet out there.
There have been. They're everywhere. I know on the East Coast they have that fall mullet run. We don't really have a mullet run here, but there seem to be more abundant right now.
That's why you always see us just like, what?
Way back in the country. But we're just throwing just about anything. We're using cut pinfish, we're using live pinfish, we're using cut mullet, cut ladyfish, shrimp, and every now and again we're throwing in artificial. I use those Q8 super baits. They're scented, and if you're finding them in the schools, they will chase down that bait and hammer it. Not like using a live bait or a cut bait where they just kind of pick it up and slowly swim off. They're actually hammering these baits. So,
And do you fish with popping corks much?
You know what? I throw a popping cork probably for about 3 weeks out of the year.
Yeah.
And it's usually in the mid to late fall, October, November, when the trout are starting to work their way back into the backcountry, and they're in that transition mode. I'll drift around some of those open flats, and we'll use a popping cork with a little small plastic on it, whether it be a mirror lure or the Q8 or just any type of small soft plastic works.
Something I want to toss on the popping corks.
Yeah,
For the guys that are using them quite often, please check your knots. I am finding more and more popping corks flying through the flats, and about half of them are swimming.
And you know
Ken Claimer was saying he's missing a bunch of popping
I'm
corks.
just saying, just tossing it out there. Check your knots.
A lot of that is from just not changing. Everybody changes the leader out once a fish grabs a hold of it and you start seeing the leader frayed. yeah, it's good to change your leaders, but no one ever checks the top of their popping cork on their main line, and it wears back and forth on the eye of your fishing rod, and that also causes a lot of stress on the fishing line. So anytime you look at your leaders, look at that first 2 or 3 feet on top of the popping cork and make sure it's not frayed also. Because that's a great way to lose a popping cork.
I mean, I have a solid Ziploc and a half of popping corks that I have found on the airboat.
So I have an additional question.
Sure.
Do you tie your main line directly to your popping cork?
I do not.
Or do you tie your main line to maybe a short piece of fluoro and then to the popping cork?
I'll tell you what I do.
That's an idea for something to think about.
Yeah, I tell you what I do. It's kind of a trick that I've been doing for a long time. I only carry about 6 or 7 fishing rods on my boat, and a lot of these other guys will carry 8, 9, 10, 11 rods.
Not linear.
All set up differently. I use the same 6 or 7 fishing rods for everything. And what I'll do is I'll take that normal 3-foot leader. I'm using light leader too. I'm using 15-pound leader. I'll take that normal 3-foot long leader, and I will tie the popping cork right to the end of that leader and put another 2.5 feet of leader on the backside of it for the regular rig. But what that does is when I'm done using the popping cork, I just cut the top of that cork off of the leader and tie the jig right to that piece that's already there. Yeah, it does 2 things. It's easy to change. You don't have to retie leaders all the time. And because you can use the same rod, just same equipment for 2 different things. And the second thing it does with that piece of fluorocarbon on the backside of the popping cork, it keeps the braid on the top of that.
That's why you always see us just like, what?
It's on the top of the popping cork. So it does kind of 2 things.
That's working quite well, especially for the guides that are constantly changing.
Right, and if you're using light leader like me, I can wind it right into the guides and not worry about it clicking or breaking or anything like that.
Right, pulling the guides out.
I literally use 12 and 15-pound leader for just about everything. So you don't have to really worry about it because it slips right through the guides, no matter what knot you use. I mean, you can use a uni knot, you can tie an FG. Any of those will slide right through the leader.
Do you use much for loop knots?
Excuse me?
Do you use loop knots much?
I do not. No, I don't like it. I don't like a loop knot for anything.
Okay.
The only time I will even attempt to use a loop knot is if I'm using a topwater bait. But then again, I'm using very light leaders, and that 1/4 of an inch of play gives it a lot of shock on the end of that loop, and I don't like that because I've gotten more break-offs on a loop knot than I've had with any other knot.
I can see that when you put it in that perspective,
Yeah, it does. It gives it that shock when they hit it, and it has a tendency of breaking right at the bottom of the loop.
Yeah, you end up with a fork.
Yeah, basically you end up with a little fork. Yeah. So I don't like using loop knots because of that. They're a good knot if you're using a heavier leader, but I don't use heavy leader. So.
Yeah. And I heard you start to touch in on trout. They're starting to move in at all?
They're starting to move in. A couple days ago, we caught some really nice ones in an area that they should not be, because it was an area where it's usually loaded with snook, and snook and trout don't like to play together. But these were all pretty good-sized trout, so they are starting to move back in. I'm just my guess, but I'm going to guess that mid-October, the bite's going to be fired up inshore. It's going to be about a month early than it normally is, and it should be good all the way up until April or May of next year.
I heard something about poles in reference to trout last week.
Yes, there are poles and trout.
What was the size of Dorado Mike's?
Poles, P-O-L-E-S. You know those
Like
poles that run
stripper
from the outer islands all the way down to Chaz?
Oh, the demarcation lines?
Like a pole,
Like a fishing pole.
you're taking a pole.
Your mic's off.
Yeah. No, not that kind of pole.
Posts.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right. Good fish.
That's it for me. Yeah.
Damn good fishing report.
Yeah, I think that's it for me. It was fairly detailed. So.
Very detailed. All right, so that was Captain Mario Castello on the Ayinde Matthews State Farm Casting Couch. All right, guys, so we are running out of time, so we're not going to be doing the Reel of Fortune, but we're still going to give away something. Before we give away something, make sure you hit the share button on this live feed.
Or you don't
if
get
we
it.
call out a name, John's already picked somebody. It was based off of questions tonight on who was the most interactive with some good questions for us to answer. And so if you did not share this live feed, then you will not win the prize we're getting ready to give away. We're going to be giving away a Fish Talk Live 1010 hat of your choice. We have a bunch of different colors and schemes downstairs. Here's 2 examples here, plus a thing of Pinfish Procure. So, and is there a power pole buff over there still?
No, I'm sure we got plenty of
Underneath
those.
the BAJÍO case? In a box? I think I saw one.
No, we have them somewhere.
Right there.
Oh, there's the box.
Under the BAJÍO case.
There's the box.
And a power pole buff. All right.
Keep that sun off you.
Tonight's winner for a 1010 hat, Procure, and a power pole buff was, who was it, John?
Let me scroll back through all these comments.
Let's start with the C.
Cody
Baldner?
Baldner.
Cody Baldner, congratulations. You just won a free hat, Fish Talk Live hat, Procure, and a power pole hat. About a $50 value all in all. You can pick it up, or if you're out of town, if you're not from here, just send us your address and we'll ship it out to you. So guys, thank you all very much, guys and ladies. I've been having a bad habit of
Ladies
saying
and
that.
jets.
Ladies and gents, thank you very much for watching another episode of Fish Talk Live. We'll be back next Tuesday. We're talking about redfish, and more redfish, about the Florida Redfish series. We might even do the podcast from Steenahatchee for all we care. But we will see you next Tuesday regardless. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to our viewers. Thank you to everyone involved in the show. And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Watch where you point that thing.